Picture yourself holding an old photograph of you and your mother, her smile perhaps warm or maybe distant, and you find yourself wondering, why did my soul choose her? Whether your relationship with her has been filled with love, conflict, or unresolved questions, there is always a deeper meaning behind it. Carl Jung, the visionary psychologist, believed that your mother was never chosen by chance, but through the collective unconscious and the powerful symbol of the Mother Archetype. Your soul selected her to guide you through the journey of individuation, to grow, to heal, and to become whole. In this video, we'll explore 5 profound Jungian truths that explain why your soul chose your mother and how this bond shapes who you are through real stories that show how even the most difficult experiences can become your strengths. Whether your mother was nurturing, critical, or absent, this is your moment to uncover your soul's purpose. Stay with us, because your journey of discovery begins right now. Have you ever paused to wonder why your soul chose your mother? Whether she was gentle, demanding, distant, or a complex mix of all these traits, the bond you share runs deeper than coincidence. Carl Jung's insights reveal that your mother was not a random presence in your life. She is central to your soul's individuation, carried through the Mother Archetype in the collective unconscious. Your soul chose her to create the very conditions you need for psychological and spiritual growth. Let's begin with Emma, a 35-year-old graphic designer raised by her strict and demanding mother Clara. Clara set impossibly high expectations, perfect grades, flawless behavior, and Emma often felt suffocated, her individuality stifled. As she grew older, she questioned why her soul would have chosen a mother who made her feel so small. Yet through Jung's perspective, Clara represents the Mother Archetype in its challenging form. Jung believed that archetypes are universal symbols carried in the collective unconscious, shaping our lives in profound ways. Clara's strictness wasn't a punishment. It was Emma's soul calling forth resilience and self-assertion. Her mother's control pushed Emma to develop her voice, to stand firmly in her individuality. The Mother Archetype is more than your physical mother. It's a timeless force that manifests through her traits, behaviors, and your shared dynamic. It can appear as the great mother who nurtures and protects, or as the devouring mother who overwhelms with control and expectation. Your soul chose your mother because her particular embodiment of this archetype aligns perfectly with the lessons you needed. If your mother was loving, your soul may have sought to learn trust and intimacy. If she was distant or critical like Clara, then perhaps the lesson was independence or self-love. Jung's path of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming your true self, depends on these experiences to shape you. Your mother, with all her complexities, is the perfect teacher for your soul's curriculum. Consider Michael, a 42-year-old teacher raised by a warm but overprotective mother, Susan. Her love was intense, hovering, worrying, never letting him take risks. As a man, he felt suffocated, unable to claim his autonomy. Yet through Jung's lens, Michael discovered that Susan's overprotection was exactly what his soul had chosen, teaching him the necessity of boundaries and independence. Her hovering, though stifling, was the spark that drove him to define his individuality. In Jung's collective unconscious, these experiences aren't random, they are orchestrated for growth. The purpose of your soul's choice is never ease or comfort. It is growth. Your mother's traits, whether nurturing, critical, or absent, are like a tailor-made course designed for your soul. Emma's controlling mother taught her resilience. Michael's hovering mother pushed him toward freedom. These challenges, Jung would say, are deliberate setups in the collective unconscious. Your soul chose your mother because her unique expression of the Mother Archetype offered the exact conditions you needed to grow. This perspective transforms the question from, "Why did I get this mother?" to "What is my soul learning through her?" Emma began to see Clara's strictness as a gift that forged her strength, while Michael recognized Susan's smothering love as the force that pushed him toward independence. By embracing the Mother Archetype, you begin to view this relationship not as an accident, but as sacred ground for growth. So what is the lesson here? Your soul chose your mother because she carries the Mother Archetype in a form perfectly suited to your individuation. Through the collective unconscious, her traits, loving, challenging, or contradictory, are deliberate lessons for your evolution. The stories of Emma and Michael remind us that this relationship, with all its beauty and pain, is deeply meaningful. If you've ever wondered why your soul chose your mother, pause and comment below. I am seeking meaning. In the next part, we'll move into Jung's idea of synchronicity, uncovering how your mother's role isn't just psychological, but part of a larger cosmic alignment. Stay with us because this is where clarity deepens. In the first chapter, we saw how your mother represents the mother archetype in the collective unconscious, guiding your individuation. But why this specific mother, with her unique blend of love, challenges, or absence? Jung's concept of synchronicity offers the answer. Your soul's choice wasn't random, it was meaningful alignment, a cosmic design bringing you the exact experiences your growth required. Take John, a 40-year-old architect whose mother Margaret was sharply critical, rarely offering praise, always finding flaws. As an adult, John carried self-doubt, wondering why he was born to such a mother. Through Jung's lens of synchronicity, he discovered this was no accident. Jung defined synchronicity as meaningful coincidences, revealing a hidden order in the universe. Margaret's constant criticism was chosen by his soul as the very condition for learning self-validation. Her harsh words, though painful, forced John to build an inner confidence no external praise could ever shake. Their dynamic was synchronistic, a precise arrangement for his individuation. Jung taught that synchronicity reveals pre-incarnation agreements, sacred contracts between souls. This contract is not one-sided. Both souls grow. John's soul chose Margaret to teach him resilience, while John's persistence may have been chosen to confront Margaret's own wounds, such as her perfectionism. This mutual arrangement ensured both souls evolved. Now consider Sarah, a 33-year-old therapist whose mother Linda was emotionally distant. Linda rarely showed affection, leaving Sarah feeling unloved. As Sarah grew, she realized through Jung's synchronicity that her soul had chosen Linda to teach her self-love and emotional independence. Her mother's coldness wasn't a failure. It was a purposeful setup to push Sarah inward, toward love from within. Meanwhile, Sarah's emotional openness reflected back to Linda, challenging her own guarded nature. This sacred contract was mutual, pushing both toward growth. The moments that feel like chance, your mother's criticism, her warmth, her absence, are synchronistic events, deliberately chosen for your journey. If she was nurturing, it was to teach you trust. If she was critical, it was to forge resilience. If she was absent, it was to awaken your self-worth. Jung's synchronicity invites you to see your mother not as a random figure, but as a soul partner in your growth. For John, the lesson was self-validation. For Sarah, it was self-love. When you see this design, pain becomes purposeful. Your soul chose your mother through synchronicity, a cosmic alignment ensuring your path of individuation. If you can see your mother's role as part of this deeper purpose, comment, "I see the synchronicity." In the next part, we'll step into Jung's idea of the shadow, exploring how your mother stirs your deepest wounds so you can transform them. Stay with us because this is where healing begins. In the second chapter, we uncovered your soul's sacred contract through synchronicity. But what about the pain, the wounds, misunderstandings, and feelings of not being enough? Jung's concept of the shadow explains this. The shadow is the hidden, repressed side of your psyche, filled with the emotions you bury: anger, shame, hurt. Your mother's criticism, absence, or overprotection often stirs these hidden parts, forcing you to confront them. Take Lisa, a 32-year-old writer whose mother Diane was emotionally distant, prioritizing her work over Lisa's needs. As a child, Lisa felt unwanted, and as an adult, she carried that rejection. Through Jung's shadow work, she discovered that Diane's distance had forced her to confront her shadow, deep feelings of unworthiness and fear of abandonment. The shadow is not evil. It is the part of you you've disowned. For Lisa, her mother's absence was the trigger to face these feelings and transform them into strength. She realized her soul chose Diane to awaken self-love. Now look at Mark, a 39-year-old nurse raised by a critical mother, Helen. She constantly pointed out flaws, leaving him doubting himself. As an adult, Mark wrestled with fear of failure and repressed anger. Shadow work showed him that Helen's criticism was never random. It was a setup for him to face his hidden emotions and build his own confidence. By confronting his shadow, Mark freed himself from the need for her approval. Jung taught that shadow work is central to individuation, because by facing the darkness within, you bring light to it. Your mother's actions mirror your shadow, revealing emotions you've buried. If she was harsh, it may have stirred inadequacy. If she was distant, it may have awakened fears of rejection. These are not accidents. They are deliberate lessons chosen by your soul. By facing them, you transform pain into wisdom. Lisa learned to value herself without her mother's love. Mark built strength without her praise. Shadow work prevents what Jung called enantiodromia, when suppressed emotions twist into their opposites, hurt into bitterness, fear into detachment. By integrating your shadow, you stop these wounds from controlling your life. This doesn't excuse your mother's behavior, but reframes it as part of your soul's growth. The takeaway is simple. Your mother's actions stirred your shadow, revealing wounds essential for individuation. By facing them, you reclaim your strength. If you're ready to face what your mother's actions stirred, comment, "I'm healing." Next, we'll explore how your mother serves as a mirror, reflecting lessons your soul needs. Stay with us, this is where transformation deepens. In the third chapter, we saw how your shadow is stirred by your mother's actions. But what if she is more than a source of love or pain? What if she is a mirror reflecting your soul's lessons? Jung's idea of energetic mirroring shows that your mother's behaviors, loving or difficult, reflect both your strengths and your wounds. Let's consider Maria, a 45-year-old social worker raised by an overprotective mother, Laura. Laura constantly monitored her, making decisions for her, leaving Maria feeling suffocated. Through mirroring, Maria realized her mother's control reflected her own fear of taking risks, her hidden need for security. By seeing Laura as a mirror, Maria learned to balance safety with independence. Then there is Daniel, a 31-year-old musician raised by an inconsistent mother, Susan, who was affectionate one day and distant the next. He grew up feeling insecure. Through Jung's lens, he realized her inconsistency reflected his own inner instability. What bothers you about your mother often mirrors a part of yourself in need of healing. Criticism may reflect your own inner critic. Warmth may reflect your capacity for love. Distant behavior may reflect your own fear of rejection. These mirrors work both ways. You reflect lessons back to your mother, too. Maria's struggle for independence mirrored Laura's need for trust. Daniel's sensitivity mirrored Susan's suppressed emotions. In this two-way mirror, both mother and child grow. The gift of mirroring is integration. You stop projecting your pain and instead see it as a lesson. Maria stopped resenting her mother's control and began setting healthy boundaries. Daniel learned to ground himself by addressing his own insecurities. By embracing mirroring, you turn frustration into wisdom. The takeaway: your mother is a mirror reflecting lessons your soul chose. Through her, you see what you need to heal and who you can become. If you see your mother as a mirror, comment, "I'm growing." Next, we'll reach the heart of Jung's teaching, individuation, the process of becoming whole. Stay with us, because this is where your transformation shines. In the fourth chapter, we saw how your mother reflects your lessons. Now we arrive at the essence of the journey, living as your whole self through individuation. Regardless of what your relationship with your mother looked like, individuation is about integrating it all, your strengths, wounds, and lessons, into wholeness. Take David, a 38-year-old entrepreneur raised by a distant mother, Ellen. She was emotionally absent, prioritizing her career, leaving him invisible. For years, David questioned why his soul had chosen her. Through individuation, he saw that Ellen's absence pushed him to find self-worth and resilience within himself. He built a successful life not to earn her love, but as an expression of his true self. His soul had chosen Ellen not to break him, but to forge him. Then there's Anna, a 47-year-old teacher raised by a critical mother, Patricia, who rarely acknowledged her efforts. Anna carried self-doubt, until individuation taught her that Patricia's voice was a mirror of her own inner critic. By facing it, Anna found her passion in writing and reclaimed her voice. Individuation isn't about fixing your mother. It's about integrating what she taught you and living authentically. David no longer needed Ellen's approval. Anna no longer needed Patricia's praise. Both found freedom. This is individuation, the process of uniting conscious and unconscious, shadow and light, love and pain, to live whole. Through it, you see your mother not as a barrier but as a teacher. Her love, her criticism, her absence, all of it becomes the raw material of your growth. And when you live as your whole self, you stop needing her validation. You simply thank her for playing her role in your soul's story. The takeaway: individuation turns your mother's influence into empowerment. Whether she nurtured or criticized, she gave you the lessons you needed to grow. If you are ready to claim this growth, comment, "I am enough." Finally, let's bring it all together. You've journeyed through the mystery of why your soul chose your mother. From the mother archetype in the collective unconscious, to synchronicity as a sacred contract, to the shadow that stirs your wounds, to the mirror that reflects your lessons, and finally individuation, the path to living whole. Jung's wisdom shows that your mother, with all her love or absence, was never random. She is a sacred teacher in your soul's journey. Every moment with her, joyful or painful, is part of your becoming. Now the choice is yours. Will you reflect on her lessons? Will you set boundaries for peace? Will you pursue the passion that lights you up? Jung believed that living as your integrated self not only transforms you, but also the world around you. Your story, your growth, your power, they matter. Step forward now. Subscribe to Jung Psyche Hub, hit the bell, share this video with someone who needs to understand their mother's role, and comment, "I choose my journey." This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a life lived in authenticity, resilience, and wholeness. Shine on, integrated self. You've got this.